Hello, this is Shawn Cohen here, your metaphysical moment. I am interested in doing a webcam teaching of the tarot using my book I wrote, and it looks like this. And it has every little thing you would ever want to know about the tarot. There's the back of it. And I wrote this book for my students, so it's called the Tarot Workbook, because it's written, as you can see, like a workbook, like something you would have in a classroom. There's lots of things in here connected with the tarot, like numerology, astrology, the Kabbalah, as well as the individual cards, the 22 major arcana cards, and the 56 minor arcana cards. It has each detail of the symbols, as well as what the colors of the cards mean. And as you can see, here's just, for instance, we're looking at the minor arcana, the wands. And in the wand family, starting with the ace and going to the 10, and then moving to the court cards, which are the page, the knight, the queen, and the king of wands. These are the details. The major arcana is the storyline, and I'll show you that. See, I bet you didn't know that. So what do we do with 78 cards? We look at our stories. We, each and every one of us, have a multitude of stories. We're in stories, we're creating new stories, we're living out old stories, even past life stories, and it's all in there. It's all in the tarot. The tarot are, Jung said, and he studied the tarot, he loved it, Carl Jung, the great psychotherapist. He said that the tarot are archetypes. Archetypes. What is an archetype? An archetype is a for instance of examples. An example of. Here's one deck that I use. This is an old deck of mine, and this is the Rider-Waite deck. And this is the correct deck to use for my book. So you'll find it, the cover looks like this, the Rider Tarot deck, or the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. And you can buy them online, you can buy them in any New Age shop, okay? This is the deluxe one, and the cover looks like that. And it'll come with 78 cards. So that's 56 minor arcana, 22 major arcana, and then 2 sort of spares, which rounds it off to 80. I don't know why they put the 2 in, but it's tradition, so they do. Now, let's have a look at some of these cards. The King of Swords. What could that mean? Who is that man? He looks a bit glum, right? The 7 of Pentacles. These are stories, archetypes. Oh, there's the family card, the 10 of Pentacles. And we have an incredible amount of wisdom. Arcane wisdom, old wisdom, sacred wisdom, knowledge that should be passed on from one generation to another. And the tarot has done that successfully, thank God. Even though people have been burned at the stake trying to do it. But it is a wonderful, wonderful tool for enlightenment, really. Here's a lovely little card. All my single ladies who come to me for readings, they love this. This is the guy for them, because the Knight of Cups, he is your sincere suitor. If he shows up, you know this is a man who is sincere, right? And here we have an ace. What about the ace? Oh, I have an ace up my sleeve. Well, it's not quite. Do you know the regular playing cards actually come from the tarot? That's why you see similarities. Kings and jacks and queens and aces. These are all taken originally from the tarot. Most people don't know that. And if you go to Italy, even today, in Bologna and various places of Italy, you will see tarot images on their playing cards. And that's a fact, and so an interesting one. Now, here you have the ace. You see that card. First of all, aces represent a portal, a new beginning, okay? A door that's open, an enlightened moment, an aha moment, right? Here you have an angel. An angel's hand reaches out to hold this sword. But the sword here is very much a pacifist sword. It's not about violence or, anything like that. It's about, think of the written word, right? The pen is mightier than the sword. Here you have ideas. Here you have new awarenesses. You have the written word, even the spoken word. You have intelligence. All these sword cards actually represent the element air in astrology. And these are the fascinating things that you'll learn not only in my book, but hopefully if you join me for a tarot masterclass. I'd like to offer this to my YouTube users as well as my Facebook and my Twitter. So you'll see this across all my different media. And I am interested in helping people to understand the tarot. This is a beautiful study. And really, you learn so much about yourself. The thing is that I think for me, the tarot has opened doors that I don't see how I could have ever learned them any other way. It is a tool for growth on so many levels, psychically, spiritually, emotionally, metaphysically. You learn to look at life in a whole new way. To learn to read symbols or symbology is to read the language of the universe. So think about it like that. You'll be learning all that symbology and what it represents. If a card has meaning, here's a very powerful card. The Lover's card. What could it mean except love? But it's even more than that. It's not just simple. It's got a depth, a richness, which we'll go into. The Archangel here, the Sun, the number 6, the lovers who look very much like Adam and Eve. Here we have the tree, in the Garden of Eden, right? Even the snake. So that's the whole story right there. And then you have the burning bush behind, Adam, the mountain. What could that mean? Each symbol, even the colors, mean different things. And as you awaken to these meanings and you understand them on deeper levels, higher levels, you begin to see life in a way that you never, ever, ever saw it before. And my tarot students throughout the 30 years that I've been teaching have always shown incredible joy in learning the tarot. Each step of it has been just so exciting for them and happy for them. And they're running around and helping, reading other people's cards as much as they can. This is the Queen of Cups. She looks so much like Princess Diana. And in fact, it's really funny that, look at her face. They used to call her, since I've lived in London, the Queen of Hearts, which would be this card, the Queen. Because the playing card that is associated with this is in fact the Queen of Hearts. So there you go. You can't make it up. Now, what else have we got? A major arcana card, the Magician, the Fool, the Emperor, the Empress, the Star card, the Temperance card. There's so many of them, and each one has a story. But the story always begins with the Fool. The Fool is the new beginning, the innocence, the child leaving home at 16. In this deck, today, hopefully kids don't leave home at 16. They actually stick around till they finish high school or 18 or secondary school. But here's our Fool, right? And he is so enamored with life. Look at him with his little, he's got his little, let me bring it closer. I think I can make this a little bit, hold on. That's it. Now, so you see he's got this little white rose, his backpack, which is filled with not a lot. This is representing not a lot of life experience. He's got the white dog yapping at his feet, right? And why is the dog yapping? Because he's so enamored with, he's just up in the clouds here. His head is looking up. He doesn't see he's about to fall off here, this cliff. And that in itself is a very powerful symbol of how we all enter into something new. So if you're, starting a new job, you just became a parent, you just bought a house, you just learned to drive, you just started school, all these things are, you become full again. So the full is our continual cycle of growth, and that's why the number for him is 0. 0 is a circle. And every day that we begin something new, we are the full again. We are the innocent. We are the child who begins to learn to walk again. So he is the beginning of the tarot deck. He starts the deck. His journey begins here. And just like the Fool, we go through the entire deck. We go through the 22 major arcana and each experience and what it brings us. And then we go through the 56 minor arcana. So we have a full life's experience. And so we end, the last card is the World card in the major arcana. And the major arcana says, okay, how'd you do? Did you make it? Did you learn anything? Did you get to where you needed to go? If not, time to go again. Back you go, like the cycle of reincarnation. And it asks us to analyze and evaluate how we did. Because the World card is representative of Saturn. Saturn is our taskmaster, our teacher, our educator, our disciplinarian in a way. He's like the grandfather or the father saying, do it right, or back it goes. You have to do it again till you get it right. And in a kinder way, Saturn represents position of authority. So you can get to a level of, being a wise master, an authoritarian, a teacher, a scholar, a writer, a person who brings something to the table that other people can't because they don't understand it. So, when you have that awareness, then the World card says, well done, good for you. You did it. You graduated. On to the next. On to the next. So here's the World card, right? Right, and it's listed as 21. The Roman numeral there is 21. Because 0 begins the journey, and 0 to 22, 22 cards. This is 21, but 0 is the first, so it makes 22. So that's my little dissertation today on the tarot. I hope you'll join me. Please let me know by contacting me at www.tarotbyshawncohen.weebly, weebly.com. And you can find me, you can find my book, actually the link to the book, and you can have this as an ebook on a Kindle or on your phone, or you can have it as the book is just like I have it in my hand, right? And this is sold at Blurb, www.blurb.com, and just put my name in, Shawn Cohen, or the tarot workbook, and you'll find it. If you go to my website, there's a link for it under More, right? Here's my calling card, Tarot by Shawn, right? And even if you just Google this, you'll find me. Okay, let me know if you're interested in learning the tarot. I'm just putting this video out as a feeler. If people are interested, then we'll do something. Okay? And on that note, may all your tarot journeys be wonderful. Bye.